Well, here it is, San Antonio, the video you have to see. Yesterday, cameras caught LaMarcus Aldridge going into a restaurant with Coach Pop, assistant coach Ime Udoka, and others. That was moments before the Spurs' second meeting with Aldridge. Now, the meeting itself obviously went great, but the best part of this video, watch the restaurant doorman. Yeah, double thumbs up when he sees the camera. Nice. And after today's news, everyone in San Antonio is looking just like that restaurant doorman. Double thumbs up. That's because one of the biggest free agents on the market has decided to call San Antonio home. Aldridge broke the news himself today with this tweet. "I'm happy to say I'm going home to Texas and will be a Spur. I'm excited to join the team and be close to my family and friends." Aldridge agreed to a max deal that's worth about $80 million over the next 4 seasons. And the stats? Well, they say he's worth that chunk of change. Aldridge is the only player to average 23 points and 12 rebounds in each of his past 2 seasons. The last guy to do that in back-to-back years? You guessed it, Tim Duncan. Reports say the appeal of Aldridge learning from the big fundamental and potentially taking over as San Antonio's go-to big man, well, those were huge factors in his recruitment. And the Spurs weren't the only ones recruiting LaMarcus Aldridge. It appeared when the Suns emerged as San Antonio's biggest threat to land the All-Star forward. Yesterday, Greg Stanton, the mayor of Phoenix, showed off this new billboard that was supposed to entice Aldridge to play for the Suns. Guess that didn't quite work. Today, Mayor Stanton says, for all those asking about the future of the banner or the billboard, Phoenix has some great recycling programs. So I guess next year we'll see Kevin Durant's face photoshopped, or as they call it, recycled, onto the same billboard. While Phoenix is hurting, San Antonio might have the best starting lineup in the entire NBA. 3 of the 5 projected starters, Tim, Tony, and Kawhi, are former Finals MVPs, and many will argue that Danny Green was just one heartbreaking Ray Allen corner 3 away from being a Finals MVP himself. Now, as for the newest member of the Silver and Black, well, he's no slouch either. LaMarcus Aldridge is a 4-time All-Star who was named second-team All-NBA this past season. So obviously, the talent is there. The Spurs offseason is far from over. They have great starters, but they've lost some depth, especially in the front court. They think they can offset that issue by picking up a guy like David West. Now, reports say the Spurs are, quote, aggressively bidding against the Cavs and the Wizards for David West to come here to San Antonio. The forward averaged nearly 12 points per game last season while playing for the Pacers. Now, if you can't wait for basketball season, you're going to get a little taste later this month. That's right, it's time for NBA's Summer League action to tip off. In the Summer League play, you're not going to see guys like Tim, Tony, or Kawhi, but you will see many former Spurs draft picks. But the biggest story, though, is Spurs assistant coach Becky Hammond, who continues to make history. This time, it's as being the first woman to be the head coach of an NBA Summer League team.
I mean, they've never really seen me in this capacity. You know, it's funny because I've never really coached, but yet I've been coaching my whole career. So it's an interesting mix for me in trying to learn my philosophies. And obviously I'm learning under Pop, and I'm learning a ton. I'm just constantly gathering information, and you know, I'm still seeing what kind of head coach I'm going to be. I am rooting so hard for Coach Hammond. And hey, she'll have some talent on that roster of hers, including last year's first-rounder Kyle Anderson and this year's second-rounder Caddy Lalane. Lalane is learning when you play in San Antonio, versatility can be the difference between making the team or not.
Offense, everything's interchangeable. You know, the 4 and the 5 could play the same thing. So just learn both positions, where to be out on the court, and what to do to, on different positions, help the team out on defensively and offensively. So I feel really confident about it.
Like that he is confident. The Spurs Summer League team will have their first game Monday against the 76ers. To Des Bryant and Cowboys fans tonight, I come to you with some good news. Kind of. Reports out of Dallas say the All-Pro wideout and the Cowboys are inching closer and closer to a new deal. A deal that must be agreed on by July 15th. Now, this report says a deal is in the works and could be worth about $100 million over the next 7 seasons. It also says Dez and the Cowboys could agree on something as soon as this upcoming Monday, but they chose not to negotiate over the holiday weekend. To baseball, and Houston is wearing those cool jerseys with the stars and stripes and the numbers and the letters, but that's where the cool stuff ended for the Astros. Bottom of the first, and this RBI single brings in Mookie Betts. Red Sox up 1-0. Then the play of the game, Preston Tucker fouls this ball out into the Astros dugout. Pablo Sandoval does not give up on the play, but he gives up on standing upright. The big man is over the barrier and in the dugout. Nice play, Pablo. The Red Sox go on to win this one, 6-1. On to soccer, where the World Cup, for the second World Cup in a row, U.S. will face off against Japan in the final. Now, after upsetting the #1 ranked team in the world on Tuesday, Team USA feels confident about their chances. But they know too much confidence can be a bad thing.
We haven't done anything yet. I know that beating a German team is something that you want to celebrate, but we still haven't won a World Cup. A lot of us were there in 2011, felt what it felt like to almost feel like it's meant to be, this meant to be feeling. But you got to go through those 90 or 120 minutes in that final, and you got to play well, and you got to finish your chances to call yourself a world champion.
Well, I think this year it actually is meant to be, and you should be able to call yourself a world champion soon enough. That game kicks off tomorrow at 6, and of course we will have full highlights and reaction tomorrow night on Sports Sunday. And hey, what's the 4th of July without a good old hot dog eating contest? I have no clue how these guys get interested in something like this, but today I am so glad they did. The man on the screen is Joey Chestnut. He's the #1 ranked competitive eater in the world, but today he came up short. It was the newcomer Matt Megatoad Stoney who walked away as a winner. Stoney, or Megatoad as he apparently likes to be called, down 62 hot dogs in 10 minutes, while Chestnut was only, and yes I said only, able to eat 60. Guys, fun fact for you, I read online, the 62 hot dogs, that's over 17,000 calories. So Matt Stoney, who looked like he weighed about 130,
I was
150
going to
there,
say, yeah.
now he won't be that size for long.
Megatoad with some mega indigestion.
Yeah, I like that, yeah.
We'll be right back, but first here are your lottery numbers. Good luck.